Outrageous Chapter 40. Qiu Luo revealed it as if he was revealing the mystery of the universe. He had hoped that Sang Wansi would realize Lu Jiwei's true motives, realize that she was taking advantage of their shared gender and put a stop to it. But Sang Wansi just raised an eyebrow. She wasn't shocked, she wasn't outraged, she was surprisingly calm. Sang Wansi even thought that Qiu Luo had filmed too many dramas until he had become dumb. Lu Jiwei was her true love fan. If she didn't like her, what sort of true love fan was that? More like a fake fan. You. Qiu Luo's expression showed his confusion, as he faltered. Don't have anything to say. What is there to say? Sang Wansi asked. Qiu Luo felt like an idiot under her calm gaze. This matter had progressed further than he had expected. He took a sip of coffee to calm himself down and gather his thoughts, before continuing, "Do you really understand what I'm saying?" Sang Wansi looked at him strangely, then asked, "Isn't it very normal for her to like me? Don't you have female fans who like you too?" Qiu Luo, exact female fans. I'm talking to you about someone liking you, but you think it's just as a fan. Sang Wansi looked at his expression and misunderstood it as him thinking the example wasn't right, so she changed the gender, male fans, in your case. To her, Lu Jiwei was like what male fans were to Qiu Luo. She was comparing their ability to attract fans of the same gender. In this day and age, who didn't have male and female fans? What sort of big secret was this, Qiu Luo? It turns out we're not even on the same wavelength. It's truly a miracle to be able to hold a conversation. You're mistaken. Qiu Luo's expression was one of speechlessness. I'm not talking about the liking a fan has towards their idol, but the sort of like between a man and woman, do you understand? Sang Wansi. Qiu Luo inhaled, his face stern. That's right, she likes you. That's why she can get closer to you each time by using the fact that she's also a woman, to confuse you and make you treat her nicely. These are the tricks of a lesbian. Wansi, those involved are easily blinded to the truth while bystanders can see clearly. As an involved party, it's very normal that you haven't realized it. I'm telling you this, because I'm worried you'll be fooled. Now that you know, you should quickly distance yourself from her before she finds an excuse to do even more outrageous stuff to you. Every word was infused with worry for Sang Wansi. Every inflection in his tone carried his concern and protectiveness for her. Almost as if nobody else in the filming crew would be better towards her than him. Sang Wansi. Qiu Luo narcissistically swept his hair back. What is it? Are you surprised by my attentiveness? Then he continued, with warm eyes, or are you scared by Lu Jiwei's ulterior motives? Our Wansi is just too kind, or else how would this sort of person like Lu Jiwei have an opportunity to strike? Sang Wansi, who had been staying silent all along, finally lifted her eyebrows. They started knitting together gently, as she tapped the coffee mug with her fingertips. What sort of person was this sort of person? How was her true love fan this sort of person? Sang Wansi looked at Qiu Luo as she thought, her eyes glimmering with unhappiness. Qiu Luo thought she was unhappy about Lu Jiwei, so he reached out a hand slowly towards hers and was prepared to hold on to it and give her a sense of security. It's okay, I'm here, I won't let anything happen to you. He was very dependable, please rely on him, no need to be polite. Unexpectedly, Sang Wansi avoided his hand. You should be thankful this cup of coffee is hot. Sang Wansi said expressionlessly. Qiu Luo was confused. Why? Because if it was cold, it would be on your face right now. Lu Jiwei had nothing to do, so she was sitting in her hotel room and watching the moon. It was rare that she had a day off tomorrow, so she planned to sleep later tonight. As if giving her some respect, the moon tonight was bright and round, like a glowing pearl in the middle of the dark sky. Lao Wu. She suddenly spoke. Hearing that, Lao Wu, who was currently busy with the system, stopped typing. What is it? Lu Jiwei was suddenly curious. Do you think the system will start giving me missions to aggravate Chu Luo like when I was made to help take food for Wan Si in front of little Ying? She felt that aside from interfering with friendships developing, this system was a professional at taunting others. If not for the fact that Ying Xiz was still like his character in the original script, it would be a miracle if he didn't hate her. Lao Wu thought about it, then shook his head. I'm not sure either. Chu Luo had dropped from the male lead to the supporting male lead. This detail wasn't in the original script and it was completely an accident. He was now in a new role that was forcibly added into the world. So it was still unknown if he could be evaluated by the system and added into missions like the rest of the characters were. Speaking honestly, there were too many unknowns in this new world. Lu Jiwei. Of course, if there weren't missions, that would be best. If there were, she had no choice either. Generals will stop soldiers when they come, and dams will stop floods when they arrive. Aside from completing her missions honestly, what else could she do? She couldn't just open the window and jump out to end all her problems. She was thinking about it when her phone suddenly vibrated. She lowered her head and unlocked the screen. It was a message from Lu Sijiao. Sijiao, gee, how have you been lately? Have you been eating well? Sijiao, I won a scholarship again, I'll treat you to some milk tea. Sijiao, red packet. The small red packet interface showed up on the screen. Lu Jiwei didn't open it, but her eyes were swimming with happiness. Compared to her parents, this younger sister was even more able to make her feel that she still had a family. As for the money, forget it. Lu Sijiao, who was still studying, needed it more than her. Lu Jiwei, that's awesome, keep up the good work. Lu Jiwei, no need for the red packet, you're a student. Keep it for yourself, tell me if you need more money. Lu Sijiao had thought it would go this way. No matter what, Lu Jiwei wouldn't take her money, even if it was just for a cup of milk tea. When she gave her parents, they both took it. She sighed, feeling like Lu Jiwei was still very formal. She wouldn't even tell her what she was working as. An ordinary job that could be seen everywhere. What on earth was that kind of job? Lu Jiwei saw that Lu Sijiao didn't reply, so she sent another message lovingly. You still have class tomorrow, right? Rest early, good night. Then she exited the chat. At this moment, Ying Xiz came to look for her, asking if her shooting was going well. Lu Jiwei, pretty good, pretty smooth. Little Ying, the crew members are all okay, right? Little Ying, nobody bullied you, right? Little Ying, if anybody bullied you, let me know, I'll rush there overnight to beat him. Lu Jiwei laughed. Lu Jiwei, then it would be too expensive for our teacher Ying. Little Ying, it's okay, teacher Lu can reimburse me. Little Ying, jpg. Lu Jiwei, okay, I'll go take a bowl and beg for alms now. I should have enough for your travel expenses in 10 or 20 years. L0 Yu Jiwei, wait for me. L0 Yu Jiwei, I'll go beg for food to support you. Jpg. Ying Xiz immediately saved the expression and sent a photo to Lu Jiwei. It was a black penguin toy with its eyes closed, lying under a lamp as if it was sleeping. Lu Jiwei, you bought it? Lu Jiwei, it's pretty cute. Little Ying, I didn't buy it, I got it when I was catching some prizes today. I only spent $1, how is it? Aren't I awesome? Lu Jiwei. Lu Jiwei, let me suck some of your luck. Such powerful luck, no moment would be better than now. She hurriedly called out after rubbing her phone, Lao Wu. Lao Wu. Lu Jiwei, I want to draw a prize. Lao Wu was stunned, so suddenly. Lu Jiwei rushed him, I just sucked little Ying's luck, hurry, while my own luck isn't paying attention. Lao Wu felt this was funny, but he quickly helped to activate the prize drawing system. Looking through her chat with Ying Xiz, she chose a number. I'm choosing 2 this time, not changing. I have a feeling, it must be 2. Here I come, the right to know. Lao Wu looked at the screen as he sat in the control room, suddenly feeling nervous for Lu Jiwei. The prize didn't announce itself automatically. Even though only the administrator could see it, the system made them go through the prize unveiling process to enhance the effect. The second prize was enlarged on the screen. After a flash of golden light, the prize revealed itself. Lao Wu looked at the prize. He took off his spectacles and rubbed the center of his forehead. This luck was really terrible. Lu Jiwei grabbed her bag and dumped everything out, then asked in anticipation, how is it something good? Silence was all that replied her. After a few seconds, she heard Lao Wu say, At least you have something for supper tonight. Lu Jiwei. Lao Wu, if you don't want supper, it can work as breakfast. Or as lunch. It might be able to work for dinner too. Lu Jiwei. She had a bad feeling. Sang Wansi walked out of the coffee shop, leaving behind a flabbergasted Chu Luo. At the entrance, she took out her phone and glanced at the time. Then, she impulsively called Lu Jiwei. It wasn't considered impulse either, they had just talked about Lu Jiwei earlier after all. The call connected quickly. Lu Jiwei's voice floated out, Hello, Wansi. Her voice was clear, it was obvious she hadn't slept yet. Sang Wansi asked, What are you doing? Lu Jiwei's voice had a tinge of sadness. I'm cooking some midnight sadness instant noodles. Sang Wansi. When she opened the lid of the instant noodle cup, Lu Jiwei was still speechless. It turns out aside from the 5 Lamborghini discount voucher, there were other prizes that could make her even more speechless. A cup of instant noodles, along with 2 sticks of ham. The ham was even something given to her separately by Lao Wu because he pitied her. But what was comforting was that Sang Wansi had specially delivered a scrumptious supper for her. On such a cold, lonely night, there was a hint of warmth. Sang Wansi sat on the sofa and picked up the book next to her casually, looking at Lu Jiwei, if you're not eating, then what did I bring the food for? Lu Jiwei said, I'll eat it all. After all, I've already made the noodles, it'd be a waste. Then she asked, Why are you still out so late at night and not in your room? Chu Luo asked me to meet him. Sang Wansi opened the book distractedly. Lu Jiwei frowned at that, he can't still be pestering you. Didn't you already make it clear the last time, he still can't understand. It's okay, he should have gotten it this time. Sang Wansi put the book down. Because I told him I already have someone I like. Lu Jiwei looked at her and asked curiously, didn't he ask who it was? He did. Then what did you say? Sang Wansi looked up, right into Lu Jiwei's eyes, I said. It's you. Lu Jiwei froze on the spot, still holding on to her cup noodles. Outrageous Chapter 41. Lu Jiwei stood there with her bowl of instant noodles, her expression worthy of being used for an expression pack. She had never, in her wildest dreams, thought that Sang Wansi would actually lie to Chu Luo that she was a lesbian. And she even said she liked Liu Jiwei. Did Chu Luo believe it? Liu Jiwei asked incredulously. Sang Wanci nodded calmly. Everybody is capable of lying. And with her serious expression, anybody would believe her, Chu Luo included. He was probably still sitting in the coffee shop in a daze. Liu Jiwei. She was utterly speechless. Good Lord, could things even happen this way? She was incredibly surprised and dumbfounded. Sang Wanci was indeed a female lead who never followed the script. She didn't let Liu Jiwei down. But this made her start worrying about something. The system will cause trouble. Based on past experience, as long as the atmosphere became nice or warm between her and Sang Wanci, the dog system would immediately and exaggeratedly rush out to let her know how outrageous it was. Now Sang Wanci had openly said the person she liked was Liu Jiwei. Even though she knew it was an excuse, the system might not know. Who the heck knew how this ridiculous system would interpret it, and if it only heard what it wanted to hear. Liu Jiwei, I'll be scared if I ask. Jpg. So she looked down and silently fished out the fork that had fallen into the soup as she quietly started counting down the seconds, waiting for the system to pop out. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. Isn't it coming out yet, is it? Not planning to come out. Liu Jiwei waited for a bit more. The system was really completely silent. She was surprised. Good heavens, the outrageous system actually didn't show up this time. This isn't scientific. She couldn't let her guard down yet. Lao Wu, why didn't the system give me a mission this time? Lao Wu, why are you asking about missions this time? Isn't it good that the system is quiet? Liu Jiwei, because it would always jump out and give me nonsensical missions in the past. It's suspicious that it didn't this time. The system is being so quiet, it must be up to something. Lao Wu pushed his spectacles up. Eat your noodles, don't scare yourself. The system had its own thinking and its own judgment processes. When the system felt like it should issue a mission, it would certainly come out. When it felt it shouldn't, it would be silent. Now that it hadn't shown up, the meaning was clear. Liu Jiwei. She felt that when she thought the system would show up but it didn't, this was also a sort of ridiculousness. She forced herself to calm down, turning around to fetch a bowl and wash it, serving the noodles. It was going to clump together in a while. Nobody would willingly let their noodles get clumpy. Sang Wanci saw that Liu Jiwei had been quiet for a while, and she asked curiously, "What's wrong? Are you unhappy? Did I make a mistake? I shouldn't have used you as a shield." In the entire crew, she was closest to Liu Jiwei, and she was the one with the best understanding of what kind of person Liu Jiwei was. So when Chu Luo mentioned Liu Jiwei and spoke badly about her, she was uncomfortable, even to the point of not caring about lying about her sexual orientation and saying she liked Liu Jiwei. It was just an excuse to reject him, anyway. And compared to Chu Luo, Liu Jiwei was indeed more worthy of being protected and liked. Only an idiot would fall for someone as rude as Chu Luo. But now, looking at Liu Jiwei's reaction, she couldn't help but wonder if she was wrong. If Liu Jiwei minded, then wasn't she just making trouble for Liu Jiwei? She didn't want to trouble Liu Jiwei. It was her fault for taking it for granted in the first place, thinking that they were friends so Liu Jiwei would help her without any issues. "I'm sorry, I was being inconsiderate." She looked incredibly ashamed, apologizing quickly. Liu Jiwei paused and turned back to look at her, scratching her head embarrassedly. "I'm just surprised that you would lie that you like girls, just to get rid of him." Then she continued, "So you don't have to apologize, don't think too much, I don't mind. Really, I'm glad I could help you." If you need to, you're welcome to continue looking for me in the future. Those were her heartfelt words. A man like Chu Luo who only saw what he wanted and heard what he wanted, didn't he deserve someone as good as Sang Wansi? And Sang Wansi had her own ideas. Being with someone like Chu Luo who enjoyed controlling every aspect of his girlfriend, it would be too easy for conflicts to arise. Without the protagonist halos, it would have been impossible for the two of them to get together. Hearing that, Sang Wansi finally relaxed. Lu Jiwei was truly her true love fan. No matter what, she was always standing in her shoes and thinking of her perspective to help her. Being able to make such an upright friend, it was her good fortune. That upright friend was currently dishing out noodles into a bowl. Since you're here, have some too. We had a full day of shooting, you've worked hard too. Treat yourself tonight and don't worry about your diet. Then she looked at the noodles, although instant noodles isn't really considered a treat. Sang Wansi looked at her back. Somehow, she thought about those days she spent at Lu Jiwei's house. It was like this back then. All she had to do was lift her head to see Lu Jiwei standing in the kitchen, preparing something for her to eat. It was warm and comforting. She really liked being with Lu Jiwei. It's okay. Sang Wansi's voice softened, unknowingly. Instant noodles are good too. Lu Jiwei placed the noodles on the round table, then opened up the feast that Sang Wansi brought. Immediately, the fragrant aroma of meat filled the room, whetting their appetites. Lu Jiwei smiled in satisfaction. Besides, we still have the supper our teacher Sang bought. Lu Jiwei was worried the smell of food would be too strong and overpowering, so she asked, "Do you mind if I open the window?" Sang Wansi said habitually, "Anything, I'm fine." Lu Jiwei, "Then let us open the window and let some air in, so it's not too stuffy." So the two of them sat by the window, enjoying the night breeze as they ate their supper. Lu Jiwei held the bowl up, slurping the noodles down. Compared to her, Sang Wansi ate more gracefully and elegantly. "You told Chu Luo that you like me, so what are you planning to do next?" Lu Jiwei asked. "You still have so many scenes to shoot with him." Plenty of scenes meant they would have to stay in the crew longer, and that meant more chances for the lie to be exposed. The male and female leads could only finish shooting together, and it was at least 4 months away. Unlike her, she could finish her scenes and leave within 2 months. Sang Wansi's expression was serene, clearly not thinking this was a problem. "I'll just pretend to like you." Lu Jiwei bit into a piece of meat as she looked at Sang Wansi. "Sang Wansi, you're in the crew for a shorter period of time than him. Before you leave, I'll just put on another show." Lu Jiwei paused slightly, then nodded. Then Sang Wansi asked a very important question, "Do you know how to like someone?" Lu Jiwei, who had been single since birth. "This question has severely touched my blind spot. As a transparent entity, what sort of romantic experience would she have had before? Don't talk about romantic relationships, she didn't even have a secret crush. Because she knew it wasn't possible, so her heart had always been as still as a pool." Sang Wansi realized, and softly said, "Sorry." Lu Jiwei, small matter. There are so many forever single people on earth, I'm not alone." Sang Wansi's eyes shone comfortingly, me too. As if she was trying hard to be someone like Lu Jiwei so she wouldn't feel too lonely. Lu Jiwei smiled and rubbed her head, then thought about it, why not ask our extraordinary teacher Ying? As a supporting male lead who had liked the female lead before, their teacher Ying definitely had a lot of experience in how to like someone. As for Chu Luo, forget it. Aside from being greasy, he had no other effective suggestions. Sang Wanxi's heart suddenly had an idea, and she picked up a piece of roasted meat for Lu Jiwei. Eat more. Thanks. Lu Jiwei smiled contentedly. Eating noodles and drinking soup, paired with roasted meat, the joy of supper was that simple. The two of them ate happily, not knowing that outside the hotel, someone was sneakily aiming their camera lens at them. The planned day of leave went up in smoke just like that. Sang Wanxi had only rested for a morning when Guo Hui called her back to continue filming in the afternoon. Lu Jiwei had it slightly better. She only had one scene to shoot in the day, with the next one at night. So before her second scene, she could go back to the hotel to rest. Lu Jiwei's scene today was the little junior sister's first and only confession scene. But because the female lead Jiaojing had unexpectedly found out the sect leader's use of forbidden magic, the two of them had missed each other, resulting in the little junior sister confessing to the wrong person. The sect leader thought Jiaojing had already figured out he used fate exchanging, and was scared she would tell the little junior sister and ruin his efforts, so he decided to try to kill her. To avoid the sect leader's attempts, Jiaojing could only flee the sect first and start the next arc of the plot. So, she never got to see the little junior sister. Lu Jiwei sat at the side, waiting for Director Guo to call her over. She touched a hair ornament and said to Sang Wanxi, "It's a shame that you won't be able to see this type of style much in the future." Sang Wanxi replied, "It's okay, I can repeatedly see your scenes in the first act of the show once it airs." Lu Jiwei, "Just to see this character design, it's not necessary." Sang Wanxi nodded seriously, "It's fine, you're worth it." Lu Jiwei praised her, she also had to praise Lu Jiwei. Both the idol and the fan had to work hard together. Lu Jiwei thought that she was cute and a little amusing when she was being so serious. This was her ability, Lu Jiwei thought, to be so attractive even when she was serious. Lu Jiwei patted her head, and then looked around the surroundings. Very good, the oil slick isn't around, she didn't have to bear his vengeful gaze. At this moment, Sang Wanxi's assistant ran over with her phone. "Little Sang, have you taken a look at your phone?" Sang Wanxi, "My phone's in my bag, what's wrong?" The assistant passed the phone to her. "The media outlets are talking about you again." When Lu Jiwei heard the word again, she didn't think it was strange. With this face, Sang Wanxi had been destined to have hundreds of thousands of eyes on her since she entered the industry. Besides, she was the woman who had relied on a single photo to rush to the top of the hot search rankings in the past. Getting on the hot search for something else wasn't a surprise. In the next second, the assistant turned to look at Lu Jiwei, "And you, Miss Lu?" "Lu Jiwei. What did I do?" Lu Sijiao sprawled on the table lazily, scrolling through Weibo after she handed in her group assignment. As she scrolled, she saw a repost on the homepage. The topic of the post was, "Sang Wanxi exposed." She noticed the repost had a comment, "WTF, this is considered exposed." Lu Sijiao was intrigued. Opening the post to look, her face darkened. What sort of expose was it to show her eating instant noodles with someone else? Can these paparazzi not randomly use words? Lu Sijiao hated this sort of clickbait the most. The comments section was mostly agreeing with her. At "Where is my Qing Yu Lu, please redefine expose." At "Come out, drunken moon Xianjing, can you paparazzi please not stir things up, the beauty is working hard. The beauty doesn't want to be talked about." At "Core player, I opened it excitedly and closed it scolding them. At "Today is another day of being poor, you even want to talk about her eating supper with a friend, aren't you being too lame? It was then that Liu Shijiao scrolled up to see the photo that the paparazzi had posted. There was a woman sitting opposite Sang Wansi. The two of them sat by the window. The photo wasn't too blurry or too sharp, but it was enough to show the woman's features. Liu Shijiao was stunned. She rubbed her eyes roughly. Wait a second, why did this person look so much like my sister? Outrageous Chapter 42. After Liu Shijiao confirmed the person in the photo repeatedly, she was shocked. This shock was a whole year's worth combined. It was really her sister, Liu Jiwei. Her sister was actually eating instant noodles with Sang Wansi at night. This was the ordinary job that you could see everywhere. Liu Shijiao sprang up from the table, sitting upright. Filled with surprise, she started scrolling in the comments section. She wanted to find a bit more information about Liu Jiwei. What if there really was something in the comments section when someone familiar shows up in the hot search? Even if it's a small one, friends and family would unconsciously pay 120% attention to it. Eventually, Liu Shijiao found an inconspicuous comment regarding Liu Jiwei in a pile of comments talking about Sang Wansi at "Can I go to your house to eat a platter? This girl seems to be an actress too, in the same filming crew as Sang Wansi. Two actresses in the same production eating supper together at night, what kind of expose is this? Pulls out knife.jpg. Actress. After Liu Shijiao saw that word, she immediately went to search for Liu Jiwei's Weibo account. As expected, she found it. An actress under Sheng Yu. She opened the account and scanned through the profile. It was cold and bare, without any bit of personality. The account holder didn't use her photo as her profile picture either. Because she was a new actress, she had no resources, so she didn't even have a single spokesperson commercial. Not even a selfie or a promotional poster was there. There were only photos of her own handicrafts. Knitted gloves, earphone covers, plus highs. It all came from her hands, and they were all beautifully done. Liu Shijiao immediately confirmed it. It was her sister. It had to be. Because her sister was the best at handicrafts. While she was here being Sherlock Holmes, her roommates were passionately discussing celebrities. From the top singers to the new actors, and then because of this hot search, the discussion eventually turned to Sang Wansi. Sang Wansi's face, my God, it's too perfect. Even a passerby who sees it would be moved to be her fan. And I feel like she's such a good match with Chu Luo. A handsome man and a beautiful woman together is so pleasing to the eye. When Questioning Deity Sect comes out, I absolutely have to watch it. This idiot paparazzi, I thought I could see some new photos from the set. What stupid expose is this? But a beauty is a beauty, she's a beauty even when eating instant noodles. She's a beauty even if the photo is blurry, nobody can resist. Yes there is, Lu Mingming was sober. Our dorm's little Jiao Jiao. Liu Shijiao didn't care a bit for celebrities. She didn't watch them or support them, even if she watched them she wouldn't support them. Even if they looked like an angel, she wouldn't budge. She was simply Buddhist-like and firm in her belief. So as they chatted, they brought the conversation to Liu Shijiao and looked at her. Only to see her suddenly spring up from her position and frantically scroll on her phone. The three of them were confused, almost thinking she had been possessed. Her fingers slid back and forth on the screen. Liu Shijiao had a sudden impulse to screenshot the Weibo profile and send it to Liu Jiwei. And ask her, is this the ordinary job that can be seen everywhere you spoke about? She even wanted to ask her, is this your dream? Her fingers stilled. After considering it again, she gave up on bringing this to Lu Jiwei's attention. Lu Jiwei would have her own reasons for not wanting to speak about it. Maybe she felt embarrassed because Lu Shijiao was a nobody. Or maybe she wanted to wait until she became famous to tell Lu Shijiao proudly. Regardless of which it was enough to show that she didn't want to let her little sister know what she was doing right now. If so, why should she be an unreasonable and inconsiderate little sister? Additionally, getting her Weibo exposed to her family members might not be something to be happy about. So she should patiently wait until Lu Jiwei decides to tell her personally. Lu Mingming saw that she suddenly froze and asked, "Shijiao, what's wrong? Did something happen? Why are you so out of it?" Lu Shijiao came back to her senses and answered, "No, nothing." Lu Mingming was confused. "Then what were you doing just now, swiping away on your phone and then getting into a daze?" Lu Shijiao stayed silent for a moment, then answered, "I made a decision." "The three of them?" someone asked. "What decision?" Lu Shijiao's eyes shone with determination, decided to support a celebrity. "The three of them? Such a sudden decision to support a celebrity, are you still are?" Lu Shijiao's hands grabbed the side of her chair as she lifted it up. She maintained the position of her butt sticking to the chair as she shuffled over to the three of them and sat down, looking at them pleadingly. "Teach me, how do I support a celebrity? Life is all about experiences and participation. If the older sister could be an actress, the younger sister could try being a fan too. This way, it could be said that the two sisters were working hard together." The three of them couldn't figure out what she was thinking. "What happened?" Lu Shijiao was diligently asking. "Do I need to make fan boards? How do I do it? What's a support banner? Where do I go to make one? Do I need to spend a lot of money? Can I draw it myself?" The three of them were bombarded with questions and they looked at each other, wondering if she had gone mad. "Can we please ask, which heavenly celebrity had changed her mind?" Lu Mingming raised her hand. Wait, what's wrong with you? Why do you suddenly want to support a celebrity?" Lu Shijiao shrugged. "Nothing much, I just want to support them." "Can't I support celebrities?" Lu Mingming scratched her face. "That's not what I mean." Lu Shijiao tugged on her sleeve, smiling. "Teach me." "Who is it?" Lu Mingming smiled curiously. "Which heavenly deity came down to earth and made you want to support them?" "A very, very pretty sister," Lu Shijiao said. Her roommates were shocked. "What? Lu Mingming, then she's prettier than Sang Wansi? Let me see." At the moment, in their hearts, Sang Wansi was the ceiling in terms of how beautiful female celebrities could be. Someone prettier than Sang Wansi? They couldn't imagine it. Lu Shijiao said honestly, "She can't beat Sang Wansi." Then she scratched her head. "They're different. But in my heart, she's very pretty, better than Sang Wansi. When she gets popular, you guys will know her, then you'll know how charismatic she is." Sang Wansi was good-looking, insanely good-looking. But did Sang Wansi make handicrafts as well as her sister? No. So her sister was still the best. From today onwards, she was Lu Jiwei's #1 iron fan. It's useless even if God came. The three of them looked at her, thinking. And so, a loyal fan was born. Lu Jiwei was utterly speechless at this topic. Looking at Sang Wansi's assistant's attitude, it was clear their company didn't know about this so-called expose either. Lu Jiwei. She locked the screen, rubbing her eyebrows. What was there to post about eating instant noodles? They even redefined the meaning of expose. This paparazzi Weibo must be sick in the head. Sang Wansi also felt equally speechless. But this matter dragged the unknown Lu Jiwei into the minds of the netizens as Sang Wanxi's friend. And eventually, this page was flipped without much hoo-ha. It was normal after all, friends gathering for a meal. At this moment, Director Guo raised her hand and indicated for the two of them to go prepare. They kept their phones and forgot about the matter. Now they had to shoot the little junior sister's one and only confession scene. According to the script, Qiao Jing wasn't there at this moment as she was going through the dangerous plot line of discovering the sect leader's secret. The scene was completely opposite to the little junior sister's peaceful scene. Director Guo instructed Lu Jiwei and the actor for the fifth senior brother to stand in their positions, and after confirming everything was right, they started filming. The pretext of this scene was that during the day, the little junior sister had invited Qiao Jing to meet her at Qingyu Lake behind the hill at night. She even strongly emphasized that Qiao Jing should come alone. Qiao Jing asked what it was about. The little junior sister held her hands behind her back as her eyes flickered elsewhere and she swayed, clearly uncomfortable. After a moment, she said, "Fifth senior brother and the rest always say I'm stupid, learning the spells wrong. So I want you to help me practice in secret tonight. You're more powerful than them, you'll definitely teach me well. When I learn it successfully, I'll surprise fifth senior brother and the rest so they can't laugh at me anymore." Qiao Jing laughed when she heard it, just this. The little junior sister was afraid she wouldn't believe her, nodding frantically to cover her own selfish heart, the hair ornaments bobbling along. Qiao Jing said, "What's the big deal about it, why did you have to think so long?" The little junior sister kicked away a rock near her foot as she lowered her head and said softly, I was afraid you would laugh at me." Qiao Jing smiled and rubbed her head, "Silly girl, Shija won't laugh at you. Don't worry, I'll be there." The little junior sister's expression immediately became happy as she went back to her studies. This scene had already been shot during the day. It was a smoke bomb the scriptwriter included. Now it was the night scene. Qiao Jing was busy investigating something, so she couldn't make it and she could only ask the fifth junior brother to let the little junior sister know that she didn't have to wait for her today. So in this scene, there was no Qiao Jing, only the little junior sister and the fifth senior brother. Lu Jiwei hugged a nice outfit in her arms as she sat on a large stone by the lake, swinging her legs. Those were the clothes made from the fire silkworm cloth. She had specially requested for a set to be made for Qiao Jing to thank her for her constant protection and care. When she heard footsteps behind her, she squeezed the clothes in nervousness. "You're not allowed to move, stand there." She didn't turn around. Because she was too shy to look straight into the eyes of the person she liked. So she faced the pristine water, leaving her back to the person behind her. "Shija." Her face started turning red as she bit her lip gently, lowering her eyes and looking demure. "I actually have someone I like." After saying that, she got a little uneasy. Asking for guidance was an excuse. She actually wanted to gather her courage to confess. But she was worried that Shija would be unable to accept it and distance herself if she was too straightforward. But she really wanted to give it a try. No matter what, she wanted to tell Shija her true feelings. So she said, "I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'll give you a hint, guess." "Shija is so clever, you definitely can guess who it is. When you figure it out, then tell me if I should confess to this person." She was both shy and nervous, completely not noticing the unusual silence of the person behind her. She also didn't care if the person behind her replied, rambling on about her feelings. Facing the lake, facing the moon, facing this unconventional heart. The person I like is a disciple of the sect. Their looks are extraordinary, their bearing is elegant, and they're as dazzling as the sun and moon. And this person is incredibly clever, being able to learn everything and do them well. They're the role model of many disciples. Most importantly, this person treats me very well and attentively. And they even promised to protect me for life. There were seas of people who had promised to protect her. But Jiaojing was the only one who had hooked pinkies with her and seriously promised to protect her, and managed to do it. She believed Jiaojing would definitely be able to figure it out with this last sentence. Shijia, she asked carefully, have you figured it out? The person behind her thought seriously for a while. Then the little junior sister heard a man say, I can't figure it out. The little junior sister stiffened. Wait, this voice is... She turned around violently, seeing the fifth senior brother standing near her. The fifth senior brother was rubbing his chin. Shimei, what sun and moon, your analogy is too exaggerated, I can't figure it out. What sun and moon and stars, did liking someone need to be so flowery? Someone like him who only practiced martial arts didn't he understand? The little junior sister was almost in tears. Why is it you? Where's my Shijia? The fifth senior brother laughed. Oh, Shijia asked me to tell you that she's busy with something and can't make it. Don't wait for her tonight. The little junior sister's good mood had completely disappeared. The fifth senior brother scratched his head and smiled. Sorry Shimei, I also know you have someone you like now. The little junior sister was on the verge of breaking down. Why didn't you say anything? The fifth senior brother said helplessly, you told me not to move, and you kept talking, I had no way to interrupt. Little junior sister. The fifth senior brother got excited. Who is it? Little Shimei Shijia can know, can I know too? The little junior sister jumped off the rock in shame and wanted to flee this area immediately. The fifth senior brother was too curious, following her. Immediately, the little junior sister exploded in anger, like a kitten that was fiercely yowling but with no real threat. No. If you dare to tell other people, you're dead. Oh, can I tell Shijia? Shijia is fine. Hey, this is preferential treatment. It's preferential treatment, what about it? Ah, this little girl is so headstrong. A perfectly good confession was ruined like that. The two of them bickered as they walked into the distance, until the cameras were unable to see them and Guo Hui yelled to cut. After a few takes, Guo Hui was most satisfied with this, so the two of them wrapped up. Lu Jiwei finally opened her phone and checked Weibo. There were a few more zombie fans. Aside from that, there were a few more likes and comments, and personal messages. All from an ID called Qiao Qiaoye. Lu Jiwei didn't have much content on her Weibo. Because she couldn't think of what to post, she randomly posted on some stuff she had made in her free time. But this Qiao Qiao had liked all her posts and even left comments on each, complimenting the color or the knitting, even saying she wanted to buy it. In the empty comments section, Qiao Qiao's comments were eye-catching and lively. Lu Jiwei was surprised, suspicious and a little disbelieving. She was actually complimented by someone. Qiao Qiao's personal message was simple, just one line, work hard, I will always support you and watch your shows. Lu Jiwei was suddenly very curious, how did this Qiao Qiao discover her? She typed in a few words and replied. Lu Jiwei, thank you, but how did you know about me? Lu Jiwei, I'm ashamed to say it, but I'm really not famous. After a few moments, Qiao Qiao replied. Qiao Qiaoye? I was watching a random drama while searching for inspiration, then I saw you and felt you acted quite well, so I watched all your old shows. Qiao Qiaoye, they're all very good, there's an improvement in each one, really. Lu Jiwei was surprised and flattered. She hadn't expected such old shows to be rediscovered. More than that, even someone like herself who only played a small role could get such a precious share of liking. Lu Jiwei, wow, thank you so much. Lu Jiwei, it's really surprising that even though I didn't have many scenes, I could still be noticed and liked and affirmed. On the other side, Lu Sijia rolled around on her bed. Somehow, she didn't feel happy seeing Lu Jiwei's words. How little were Lu Jiwei's scenes in the past, those shows all added up together didn't have more than 2 hours of her. If someone were to just watch the scenes with her in it, it didn't require all that much time. But there was no way to deny Lu Jiwei's hard work in the show. Even her eyes shone with determination, and her acting skills improved from show to show. But this world's light didn't shine on her. She came silently and retreated off the stage silently, nobody remembering her. Even her family members didn't know. Until today, her sister finally came late. Lu Sijiao looked at the thank you sticker that Lu Jiwei sent, and could really feel her happiness. But the happier Lu Jiwei was, the sadder she was. She couldn't imagine how much Lu Jiwei must have suffered alone all these years. But it didn't matter. She was here now. She saw her hard work and suffering. She would become a younger sister for her big sister to rely on. Qiao Qiaoye, even small characters can shine and are worthy of being liked. Qiao Qiaoye, God will certainly not let you and your hard work down, you'll definitely become a big celebrity. Qiao Qiaoye, when that time comes, I'll be the fan that accompanied you on your journey. After that, she even sent her a photo of a drawing she had done before. The characters were intricate and beautiful, with an eye-catching art style. Qiao Qiaoye, I drew this, hope you'll like it. As a seasoned artist, she had never revealed her identity in front of her family before. And she had very little communication with Lu Jiwei in the past, who had never seen her drawings before, so she didn't have to worry about her art style being recognized. Lu Jiwei didn't know what to say after seeing it. She carefully saved the photo and thanked her fan. Her eyes had turned red unknowingly. The feeling of being seen by others was really great. Sang Wansi saw her standing there and walked over in curiosity. As a result, she saw her red eyes and frowned as she asked, "Is someone bullying you?" Aside from crying scenes, Sang Wansi had never seen Lu Jiwei cry before. In everybody's eyes, Lu Jiwei was like someone born to be optimistic, never crying and always happy. Lu Jiwei smiled and wiped away her tears. "Nobody bullied me, I'm happy." Sang Wansi asked, "What happened?" Lu Jiwei smiled radiantly. She waved her phone as if she was showing off a treasure. "I'm now someone who has fans that like her.